Hi, I'm that guy, Brick Road. It's me again. Oh, OBS was not ready to go. Let's redo the intro. Hi, I'm that guy, Brick Road. It's me again. Welcome back to whatever this is. It looks like it's Final Fantasy V, but there's more to it than that. I guess I'm going to have to introduce the series in every single video in this series, no matter how many of them it takes. Because this is like the kind of thing that people might just discover halfway through and not want to start from the beginning, since every video is going to be functionally the same anyway. Maybe what I should do... Tell you what, I'll describe the series first. This is a BizHawk Shuffler series where every 45 to 125, there it is, the blue bubble will show up and Pac-Man us into a different game. And I have mini games in this shuffler, not just these two. Yeah, we gotta take Keistis out on a date to the fire cave. But I think we're going to do a little bit of grinding in this game before we go to the fire cave, because I kind of want to just get a little bit of money and stuff up front. I think would be the good thing to do here. A little bit of investment in the very beginning. The game's not hard, but like a little bit of investment up front goes a long way. Anyway, BizHawk Shuffler. I have Final Fantasy 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, Mystic Quest, Legend 2, Dawn of Souls, and 4 free Enterprise Oops All Edwards in the shuffler. We're just gonna go. So the first video of the series, this is episode 2. The first video, I think it was 2 hours and like a little bit of change, and you can see how far we got in the games. We're still in the intro scenes in all the games after 2 hours of play. So I did some breakdown. I didn't do the math. I let AI do the math because I just let AI do all my thinking nowadays. But apparently there's an average of 85 seconds playtime. I don't want to be attacked from behind. I want to run from this fight. 85 seconds of playtime before the next game gets shuffled. That's the average, because it's anywhere between 45 and 125. And it's going to be an average of 18 minutes in between when a game gets shuffled away from until the point where we see that game again. So once we jump out of Final Fantasy V right here, it's going to take, on average, 18 minutes to get back into Final Fantasy V. Although you can see we're already in an outlier because we started in Final Fantasy V today. Because it is purely random which game it goes to, we might get the same game repeatedly. We'll get, like, it'll get chunky, right? Pure randomness is chunky. Remember all those studies they did where people were, like, upset, like, the iPhone shuffle button, it's not really random because I just heard 3 songs from the same artist in a row. That's not random. Yeah, it is random. That's what random means. You can, like, everything has an equal chance of being picked. So sometimes we're just going to see these same game pop up a couple times in a row. And that's okay. I'm okay with that. I've made my peace with all of the game that we have to do to get through this project. I tried to, like, figure out how long it's all going to take me. And I don't know. Again, the AI robot that does my thinking for me gave me numbers between like 290 to like 450 total hours. And that depends, there's just way too many variables. The most salient variable that it gives me, or that would be considered, is like my knowledge level of each game, which these are all Final Fantasy games, so it's pretty good. This is my favorite series of all time. I played all these games repeatedly. I'm always playing Final Fantasy something or other. But some of them I know better than others. And also, yes, I know what you're thinking. Brickroom, that is a sick, dark jungle-themed text box you've got there in Final Fantasy VI. And you know what? I agree with you. I quite enjoy it. I'm going to enjoy it for the whole game. We do have to remember to rename our characters in 6. Otherwise, we're going to be stuck with all uppercase. So some of these games we had to build a party from scratch and name the characters ourselves. And that's how we're going to kind of include the Final Fantasy games that didn't make the cut. So like we have the crews from Final Fantasy 12 and 13 and 15 and 16 all popping off with us in various earlier Final Fantasy games. But I made sure that all the names were in lowercase, so they made sense. But Final Fantasy VI puts all the characters' names in uppercase for whatever reason. I don't know. Oh, we're here now. Yes. Yes. We're going to need the inn. I don't know where the inn is in this silly town. But we're definitely going to need it. Yeah, I want to rest in your bed because I need to get my hit points back. Hurrah. Ooh, I also want to open your brown box, if you don't mind. So yeah, this is just a lot of Final Fantasy games, and I did try this project once before. I did describe that. I did try it once before on stream. Oh, I can't go this way to get that box. On stream. And streaming is just the wrong format for this. Because it's a very conversational medium, streaming video games. There's my cure spell. But I feel that the conversation here can be better served. Because I've always got these thoughts in my head, these like ideas, like I need to think about stuff. And that can be tricky. Where am I going? I shouldn't be down here. In a live stream situation, it can be tricky because this is going to sound conceited, but like if I share my thought, then everybody who's like in the Discord or in the Twitch chat or whatever, like they got to share their thoughts too. Like it's conversational in that way, which is beneficial. But for this particular project, I feel like I want to just kind of chill out and see where the stream of consciousness takes me and kind of work through some ideas in my head, some of which are probably very cringeworthy. You know, not everything in my brain, most things in my brain are probably awful and embarrassing, but like I don't get a chance to just say that unless I'm just speaking to an empty room. So I end up spending a lot of time in my life just kind of, especially if I can't sleep, just laying awake in bed, just with thoughts going through, like conversations with nobody, just like thinking out loud, like. And I don't have a great way to. Oh, I can turn on this. Yeah, I want these on. Finger, what the hell? Yeah, I don't really just have a great way. Not venting's not the wrong word. I'm not going to use this platform to vent necessarily. Did I buy Cure Magic? Is an excellent question. I did buy Cure Magic. We're good to go. Yeah, we're done in this village. We can... Should I buy a 10? No, we're going to raw dog it to provoke a... I got this. And this can still remain conversational, right? Because like I'm talking into my microphone right now, and you're listening to me at like some future point. Like I don't know when I'm going to upload this or when you're going to watch it, but like there's videos on YouTube now. You can look under the video to see the date that it was uploaded, and if it's more than a year old, it'll just say like a year old, like a year ago. And we've got videos on YouTube now. This was uploaded. That's not a word. Uploaded 15, 16, 17 years ago. Wow. This Mad Men clip channel that I'm watching hasn't been uploaded in 17 years. But like the point is, like I'm saying it and you're hearing it, and I think it was, I don't want to misattribute this, but I also don't want to look up the quote. I think it was Stephen King. Who mentioned this kind of communication, like almost being a form of time. What am I doing up here? Almost being a form of time travel, right? Right. Oh, this is 3. No, okay. I thought I was in 2 for a second. Did we want to go to the inn? We did. Okay, that's what we were doing here. Like almost like a form of time travel. There we go. Because it doesn't matter when you're watching this. Like, you're getting my ideas beamed at you from, what is it, July 26th, 2026 at 12:18 a.m. to whenever you're watching it. And, like, it can still be conversational because, like, you can leave a comment, you can reply to what I'm saying. If you feel the need, like, you can stalk me on Discord or send me a YouTube DM. So when you think about it that way, like I'm still around, but you can't interrupt what I'm saying. Like, you can't use your ideas and your thoughts to overwrite what I'm saying. And I think that's kind of important sometimes. Sometimes it's very important to have a conversation live in a situation where the other person can overtalk you and go back and forth, and that's very, very helpful. And that's what I get in my live streams. When I live stream to YouTube, that's the kind of conversation I'm able to have with my live chat. But in a video like this, it's the other kind of communication where, like, you just have to absorb my ideas for as long as you think you can hack it. And yes, I know I'm going to waste some time and money here. We didn't even win one fight on the way. It's fine. Don't worry about it. But, like, you still can respond. Even if it's just to, like, leave a comment or come on Discord and be like, Bricker, what's up with all that, like, extremely racist and regressive stuff that you said in episode 2 of the Final Fantasy Shuffler? Fran has no attack magic. Like, was it really necessary? Like, but yeah, I do spend a lot of time. This is embarrassing and maybe cringy. Oh yeah, here's our oops all Edwards. But I do spend, like, just having conversations in my head. I shouldn't have taken that sword. I should have discarded that. Like, stream of consciousness stuff. I used to blog. And I used to, like, dump a lot of that stuff onto my blog. And I do have a blog these days. It's rjskibby.com. I actually don't need that. We're going to get rid of it. We can't get any Iridia in the party. But I've been using that website. I've been trying to maintain more, like, actual articles that people might be interested in reading. And as writing exercises, rather than just, like, dumping my thoughts for the world, which is what my old website mostly was, my old blogs going back. Yes, I do have to walk all the way out of here. I'm sorry. It's just part and parcel of free enterprise. So yeah, and I can't just go on. Sometimes I do go on Discord and just, like, unload all of the brain, like all of the dumb brain stuff that's, like, slosh the brain juice, like Shamu the whale sloshes into the front row. That doesn't always go well for me because I sometimes just get yelled at. People are like, what you're saying is dumb. But other times it's just like, I just don't get the catharsis of emptying the brain juice, because I'll, like, pour out a cup of the brain juice to kind of test the waters, and then somebody else will, like, jump in with their brain juice, and, like, now there's 2 competing brain juices. I need to check my status screen in 2 to make sure that I am actually getting unarmed levels, because if I'm not... Oh, I gotta take our armor off, too. I gotta make sure I'm not wearing armor. So we get evade goes up. Our power is going up, which we like to see. Yeah, let's stats. We are getting unarmed levels. Excellent. Okay, let's... Everybody strip. Clothes off. Guy, let it hang, brother. So without armor, our characters... You don't even have armor. You just had clothes on. Well, not anymore. Without armor, our characters will have a better chance to increase their evasion, basically. Which is going to be very important. But right now, I don't want to do anything in this game until we get punchies up to level 2. And this is the power we're getting. The strength upgrades are already doing a little bit of work. But we need to make sure we have punchies for days before we start fighting bosses. This game has so many problems. One of the problems it has is that enemies have power levels split up into ranks, rank 1 through rank 8. There is no feedback anywhere in the entire game that explains these ranks to you, but they're important for a lot of reasons. The closest the game itself ever gives you to even suggesting that monsters are like split up into ranks. Oh, this means that Final Fantasy I is technically ahead of Dawn of Souls now. In some versions of Final Fantasy II, like I think Dawn of Souls does it, and I think the Pixel Remaster does it. If you look in the bestiary that comes along with those games, I think the bestiary entry for each monster tells you their rank 1 to 8. Anyway, whatever rank a monster is, so there's no like boss monsters. It's like, instead of having you fight a boss monster, like a bespoke boss, like we fought the Adamantoise turtle enemy in the opening cave of Final Fantasy III, or the Mist Dragon that we're about to fight in Final Fantasy IV. Instead of like bespoke bosses, they just use enemies from later ranks and just kind of plug them in to the early game in Final Fantasy II. So that means that like every boss you fight later in the game is like a recurring enemy that you find again, except that time you can't run from them because they made the enemy tables unrunnable to ensure that it would work as a boss fight. It's literally that lazy. But what it means is that you'll go into a cave, right? The first major dungeon of the game, you'll go to the cave. All of the enemies in there are rank 1 monsters. They're like these leg eaters and stuff that we're fighting in the beginning of that awful game. But then there's a boss, and like, oh, well, let's just use like a rank 2 or rank 3 monster for probably rank 2. But rank 2 monsters are so much more powerful than rank 1 monsters that you might literally not be able to damage them. Like, there's just nothing you can do to them because you have to literally perform 100 attacks. That number is lower in other versions of Final Fantasy II, but in the version I'm playing, it's literally 100 attacks to go from weapon level 1 to weapon level 2, which is where you get your damage multipliers. And it's the same for magic. You want to use a fire spell? Great. You've got to cast your fire spell 100 times. People say that the later remakes of Final Fantasy II are better. So, okay. I haven't played the Pixel Remaster. I played the GBA version of Final Fantasy II in Dawn of Souls. In that version, to go from level 1 to 2 is only 10 attacks. I think it's 10. I'm not going to double check. I just don't care that much. But I think it's 10. Let's say it's 10. Why not? Good, easy number. You can attack a dude 10 times, can't you? Cool. You are not naturally going to cast the fire spell 10 times over the course of that one done. You're just not. You don't have the magic points for it, for one thing. You've got to raise your magic points to be able to cast magic. And the more you cast magic, the higher the magic spells, like the cost becomes. So you start with 5 magic points, which is enough to cast 5 level 1 spells. Level 1 spells can't even hit most enemies. Maybe a level 1 spell can damage a rank 1 enemy, but won't always kill it. And then on top of that, you add like, well, you don't know what bosses you're going to face. Unless you are already super knowledgeable about the game, you don't know that you're going to fight a turtle monster in the first cave that's weak to ice. So you better level up all magic so you have something that can damage them. You better level up fire and ice and thunder to like level 2 or 3, just to have a chance to do some damage. That's magic, but weapons work the same way. So this particular monster has like high defense or whatever, and is rank 2 when you're only have been leveling on rank 1 monsters. So you can get into a situation where even if you connect with your attack, if your weapon level is only like 1 or 2, you can't land any, it'll just be 0 damage. Like, oh, 2 hits, 0 damage. They don't even give you like a minimum 1. They don't even bottom it out for you. In Final Fantasy 1, this wasn't a problem because if your attack connected, you did at least 1 damage per hit. So if you're doing 3 hits, you could, unless you miss, you always doing at least 3 damage. Fighting this turtle monster in Final Fantasy II, like, yeah, if I could have done 3 damage a round, that would have been great. Nope, 0 damage on all characters. Can't do anything. And that's how the game works. I hope saving will work in 7. That there's not a special step that I have to do to make memory cards work in the emulator. I don't think there is, but... Cure spell. Leather armor. Oh, we got all kinds of good stuff. See, free stuff. Here, give me... the longsword. And I'm gonna give me the dagger. And give me some leather armor. And then you, my good friend, I don't have anything better than knives yet, but you can have some leather. I don't have anything for arms. Great. Is that all that's in here, or is there another... Tortle's a black mage. That's funny. If anything, he's a white mage, because in the game, the only thing he can do other than attack is, like, throw potions at you. Accidentally, because you keep pushing the Tortle button instead of what other button the game has. Anyway, Final Fantasy II is not fun, and I don't like it. But there's ways to play it. Like, it's not... We're just going to do a lot of power leveling, and it'll be fine. Alright, let's kill some monsters in Final Fantasy Mystic Quest. What we need to do is just go through the dungeon and fight the boss. Because then Kaylia will give us her axe, and then we can finish... Oh, I want... I gotta put her on manual. I don't want her on auto. There it is. I want to input her commands, thank you. So Kaylia is like a barbarian lady? I'm not really sure. Anyway, we're going to get the axe, and then we'll clear out the rest of these monsters with just Benjamin alone, so he gains all the levels. I don't know why I'm going to do it that way. It doesn't really matter that much, but... We do want some levels. Mostly I want the treasures, I guess. And every time I open the menu, it's going to kind of prompt me to save the game. Oh no! There's nothing we can do except attack this guy over and over and over and then cure whenever he damages us. There was nothing worth doing here. Because we have no money. So all we're going to do is head on over to the next area, I guess? How good is Fang doing right now? I don't think we want to do anything with Fang until we get to the next world. In World 2 is where we're going to find a monster that Fang actually wants to eat, and then they'll turn into... I should give her bow, shouldn't I? I should give her bow over to the robot to increase his agility a little bit more. I don't know how to play this game. That's not true. I've played this game before. I do know how to play it, but it's not ingrained in my memory the way that, say, Final Fantasy VI is. That's the sexiest window coloration there is in the world. My wife bought a new kind of bottled water for us. This alkaline, ionized hydration, something pH level. Like, dude, I cannot tell you how many times I've opened up a bottle of water and was like, what's the pH level on this? I have done that 0 times in my life. Alright, I'm gonna go raid this guy's clock. Sorry, bro. You're about to get clocked. Alright, now that I got the elixir, I'm gonna go talk to the bro again. Like, we're still in the intro in 6. I would still consider this the intro. Obviously, you don't have even named any characters yet. Remember to name the character in lowercase. We have to do that with every character in the game. What's he going to do with that slave crown? Like, he didn't throw it away, right? He took it off her head. He put it on a shelf in his house. Like, what's my dude going to do with that slave crown? There, we've got Terraria now. And he seems to know a lot about how slave crowns operated. Like, is my dude, like, you know, I'm not going to complete this thought. I was saying earlier the benefits of just kind of stream of consciousness, just thinking in a line and not having anybody to interrupt me. But there are some cases where, like, somebody should interrupt me. And right now nobody can, because it's just an open microphone in an empty room with me and my Legos and my video game consoles. I need to minimize Discord over here. That's what I need to do. I've got my laptop open. My laptop's always open next to me here, like all the time. It just exists omnipresently in my life. But like out of the corner of my eye, I keep seeing people talking in the Discord. I keep wanting to like look over to see what they're saying. I can't deal with that right now. That's just as bad as having the YouTube chat open. Like, it's a live stream without any of the benefits of being a live stream in that case. Anyway, I've closed Discord now, which is kind of the same thing as saying I've murdered all those people. Give me boat, please. Hooray for boat. I believe now I can buy 2 skimming tars. We are not going to eat meat. This is where I wanted to go. We can go up here and we can talk to the lady friend. This here, this fairy monster, that's what we want. We want to turn into a fairy monster. I mean, he must have left years and years ago. 4 to the east, 3 to the south from the big rock in the southern forest. 4 east, 3 south. I can remember that. You know what? I'm going to type it in a notepad window. If you'll... 4 east, 3 south. Now when I get there, 47 minutes from now, because we're about to swap away from this game... And what were the numbers again? There's only 2 numbers. What were they? This is where everybody under the age of 20 is going to go down to the comments and type 6-7. Which I'm sorry, I don't get it. I don't like I know I'm not supposed to get it. Like I'm the old man now. Like, I'm the problem with the world. I'm the one who's out of, like, I get all of that. I've been out of touch since I was 21 years old. I understand, but like usually conceptually I can look at like a meme that the youngs are into, or like slang terminology. Like, I say fam, okay? When something good is happening, I say I'm cooking, okay? But 6-7, I've had it explained to me, and I could not explain it to you now, even though it's been explained to me. So it's kind of just where I'm at. I checked out of caring about keeping up with like youth culture when I graduated high school. Like, that was it for me. After I graduated high school, I'm like, I'm not going to learn about any new musician on the radio for the rest of my life. I don't know who Taylor Swift is. Not even the first idea. I couldn't name one of her songs. That's not true. If I sat here and thought about it, I probably could. And now I've spent about 10 seconds thinking about it, and no, turns out I can't. So I was right about myself the first time. I know that I keep tooting my own horn here, but this like foggy gray blue background I got, this is good. This is nice looking. I like a nice looking text box. Y'all like a nice looking text box? Because mine are looking pretty good. We have not advanced enough yet in Final Fantasy IX to choose the good checks box. Box of checks. Checks mix. This is what happens when you commit to stream of consciousness. Sometimes you just get the random association coming out of the mouth hole. So what I'm hoping is going to happen here is we're like these monsters are going to get a few swings at me to raise my hit points and my evasion. But when I get to level 2 punches, I'm going to buy a couple of potions. Maybe I'll just buy 3 cure spells, one for everybody, just for spot healing as we go. Like it might never level up, but I could power level it out of combat, I think. And I think magic might level faster than weapons. We could test it. I could buy the cure spell for somebody. Teach it to them. And then just see how many experience points we get from it. That's the only way we're going to get magic points either, which we might want for later. Man, I don't know. Last time I played this game, it was the Dawn of Souls version. That's not true. Last time I played this game, it was this version, because I was doing it for this project. And I don't listen to people when they say, like, oh, but the later versions of Final Fantasy II were better. They fix all the problems. No, they don't. They just spackle over the problems. This is the only Pixel remaster I haven't played is 2. And I don't see any reason why I would. I'm only playing this version because of the historical something. Bubble, save me. Take me to a better game. Yeah, take me to this game. I got a cure spell. That's for Jill. Now, the Black Mage is not actually going to get any magic early on. Because the only spell you can buy is Pure. At least immediately. Yeah, see, Black Belt actually starts out doing some damage in this game, unlike Final Fantasy I, where your Black Belt starts out doing nothing. It's not a Black Belt, it's a monk. I don't know the difference. And then we'll just sell off the other equipment we don't need. And then we'll go up north to the cave, because there's a whole section of that starting cave we didn't get to see. And we'll just fight through there and get that treasure. There's got to be something down here, right? A potion. Why are there random encounters inside of the village? Because Final Fantasy III just hits different. I got a boat. I'm going to go to the weapon shop. I'm going to buy 2 skimming tars. It's going to be great. Then I need to gain some levels in this game until I get a cast of level 3 magic on the red mage, which is going to take a minute, not going to lie. So we'll equip those. We'll get rid of these rapiers, which we don't need anymore. Does anybody need any healing? No, we should be able to sail to Conaria and be safe. Next, I think, because we have to get some levels anyway, I think I need to we'll just get the treasures out of Matoya's cave and the Temple of the Fiends. That'll get us a little bit more just walking around money. With a black mage in the party, I would only have to go to level 4. But because I don't have a black mage in the party, we might have to go higher than that. And I said I wasn't going to steal from bosses in this game, but I do want to steal the wrist, and I think there's a dagger I can get from him. The Mage Masher. We got all the steals from him right off the bat. You love to see it. So yeah, right away we are already in doing good things in this game. Some of the... I don't think any boss literally has a unique piece of equipment to steal. I don't think so. I think it's like you're always just like stealing equipment you will just get in a couple areas anyway. But because your abilities are attached to equipment in this game, stealing a piece of equipment before you're able to actually find it is a way to get abilities early. So like you're incentivized to steal from every boss, and you can just spend 100 turns stealing. Some of these bosses, they have like a 1% steal rate. Also, stealing powers up one of Zidane's abilities. Like he's got an ability that he gets towards the end of the game whose damage equation factors in either how many times he's attempted to steal or how many times he's successfully stolen. I'm not sure which. One of the two. So in boss fights, we might just have Zidane steal and have everybody else do the fighting. And if we get something, great, and if we don't get something, we'll live. And I might have to literally look up like Chocobo Hot and Cold stuff, because I don't know that I want to do all of the Chocobo Hot and Cold. There's quite a lot of it. And I'm now used to the remakes of 9, or the remaster, or whatever we're calling it, which has a fast forward button that makes your Chocobo run and dig faster in those scenes, but doesn't actually increase the speed of the timer, so you get through all of Chocobo Hot and Cold really, really quick. But there's some Chocobo Hot and Cold stuff that I want to get at every stage of the game. Like early on, it's really good to... because I think you get a staff for Vivi that lets him learn Thundara. Like it's his first aura spell, right? Like it's his first like second tier black magic spell. We'd like to get that if we can. I wouldn't mind Chocobo Hot and Cold in this game. This game's stupid and I hate it. Oh, this project's never going to get off the ground if all I do is complain about Final Fantasy II. Fortunately, there are better games to look at. No, I don't have time. I have a date with Keistis. We're already, like, later today, like at 3 o'clock today, we all have, like, an appointment to go to war. So yeah. Focus on that. Now, what I think I do want to do first is go to, I think, the library? Here, let's see if the memory card actually works. The circle opens my menu? What? What are you talking about? We're not going to find out yet. We're not going to find out if the memory card actually works. When I'm done streaming tonight... I'm not streaming. When I'm done recording tonight, I should just boot up Final Fantasy VIII Standalone and see if the memory card will load. Because if it won't, I've got to solve that problem before we can continue. Because if we get a game over in any of these PlayStation games, it's not going to let us just load our save state. We're going to have to load from the memory card. So if the virtual memory card doesn't work in the virtual emulator, my whole virtual life is ruined. I'm going to kidnap Princess Garnet. And I'm pretty sure I'm just going to rename her Garnet. Because she wants us to call her Dagger, and I just don't want to. I intend to dead name Garnet the entire game. And you know what? That's going to make some people angry. Brickroad, you're not validating her identity. And to that I say she's not a real person. She's a computer program who wears very tight orange pants. Frankly, they're too orange. I think we can all agree. So yeah, this poison, it is going to do damage during this fight, but it cures itself after this fight. Later, there's like a super poison that doesn't go away after the fight. I think that's how it works. In fact, let's do this. We got some money now. Let's go in here. Let's go to the magic shop. Let's buy Cure for everybody. And then instead of healing at the inn, we'll use our Cure spell to heal our hit points and then see if that raises our Cure level. Oh, there's my save file. Wait, it wasn't there when I tried. No, you know what? Okay. I don't know where this virtual memory card ended up then, but apparently it is accessible during the shuffler, and it was not accessible when I just loaded the ROM naked into the emulator without the shuffler. So apparently those save files do still exist. Should I put Final Fantasy VII Remake into the shuffler? No, right? That'd be too much of a thing. And also, I would have no way to tell BizHawk to boot from my PlayStation 5, so... I guess I was going this way? Yeah. This is going to be a trip, is just coming back to a game after half an hour of not playing it and being in a battle, and then not knowing which way you're going on the map. That's going to be tough, and it's especially tough in Legend 2, because I think Final Fantasy Legend 2 does not remember the direction you were facing when you got into a random encounter. Like, when we were in this random encounter, I think we were walking down, and it'll remember down. See? But if we get into a random encounter facing another direction, we'll be facing whatever direction we were facing. It's not true in Legend 2. In Legend 2, here, let's just run from this fight. Let's see if it's actually true. Come out of the encounter, facing up. It remembered. In Legend 2, I think you always face down after an encounter. And in Final Fantasy 1, the same thing is true. But I'm not gonna like forget where I am on maps in Final Fantasy 1. Like, that's not gonna happen. 4 east, 3 south. I have the note in my notepad over there. I do always keep a notepad open. Usually when I play any games, really, but it might actually be important for this game. This doesn't, like, does this count as the game's first dungeon? I don't think so. This is just whatever. The first real, actual dungeon is the Wind Shrine. Leather helmet. I gave it to my man. Really shouldn't be fighting any of these monsters. None of these monsters are worth doing anything with. Also, Gallo's gonna die? That's exciting. I think he gets a heal, though, once we get to the... I think we're almost at the end. Like in the Pirate Cave cutscene, we'll get a heal. What's that? Let's wander outside. I don't know how we can see that boat, because... Look. I'll show you where we just watched from. You know what? I'm not going to show you, because by the time we get back to Final Fantasy V, I will have forgotten what I was going to show you. So just write that off. That idea didn't go anywhere. What are the odds, mathematically, that we'll switch to Final Fantasy I and then switch to all the other games in release order? So like 2, 3, 4, Legend 2, Mystic Quests, maybe? I'm not sure which one got released first. I think they were released close together, because I think it was the same team did both. Probably Legend 2 first, then Mystic Quest later. I think Legend 2 is 91. And then Mystic Quest was after Final Fantasy IV, which would have also been 91. Drinking my alkaline water. It just tastes like plastic. It's not refreshing like the bottled water we usually get. Rick Road, you shouldn't be drinking bottled water anyway. It's bad for the sea turtles. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, sea turtles. I apologize. It's just so convenient having bottles of water. This is a man I want to kill. Right here. This is a man I don't have a lit spell for, but this is the man here. I'm gonna make sure Bosch does not die in this fight. This will be some experience points for us, which are at a premium right now. We could be doing a little better with the skimming tars. I grant you. We could be doing a little bit better, and we're not. Fran just kind of, like, poked at it with her fingertips. The thing's got 120 hit points. Like, we'll get there eventually. 37, that's not bad. I made Vaughn my monk in this game, but usually when I play Final Fantasy XII, I think I make Pinello into the monk. Are you okay? That's good for us. Here's why it's good. Because we don't really just need generic leveling up. What we need is for Ash to gain levels. And by having Bosch be dead here, in this 100% planned outcome of this fight, what we've accomplished is Ash was able to get a little more experience than she otherwise would have. So yeah, that was on purpose. I'm going to go ahead and fix it now by going to the clinic, and then we're going to walk up to the Temple of Fiends and get a couple of treasures that we left behind there, and just fight what happens along the way. There you go. I equipped your armor, didn't I? Yeah, it was just a lucky critical hit. Oof. It happens sometimes. Alright, what's the odds we're going to go through all the games in order right now? Oh, okay, we went to 3. We skipped 2, so it was close, but no cigar. It is astounding how much better the blue windows look in combat than the black ones. I don't know why the combat windows in Final Fantasy 1 and 2 were not blue. Because the dialogue windows are. But for some reason the combat windows are not. I considered, for my Final Fantasy 1 playthrough, I considered using the FF1 randomizer to produce a ROM that has all that, like, randomizer quality of life stuff, but doesn't actually randomize everything. Because one of the settings is it makes the battle screen look more like this, instead of having the big clunky HP windows along the right side of the screen. And a dash button, but no, I figured we just go without the dash button. It'll be okay. Go ahead and cure everyone, please. Because something tells me we're about to... Gav especially might need a little help in this fight. There we go. Good healing. We're going to need another one here in a second. I'm wondering if they will also poison me like the bees in Final Fantasy II. Gav actually is starting out pretty good. I thought it took a couple levels before Monk started to pop off, but immediately Gav is coming out with good hits. Very pleased by this state of events. It's going to take a minute to bring down this Metal Gear back here, isn't it? Ooh, almost got the limit break. Don't fill up my limit break, fool. You'll regret it if you fill up the limit break. You're not going to like it. Actually, I should get the limits filled up and save them for the boss. That's probably the smart play. I mean, the smart play is just to run from these encounters because they're pointless and they're not, like, worth fighting. But I like fighting. I like RPG combat. I play these games because I like the turn-based... Yeah, like... Ooh, free restore materia. I'm going to... I don't have a materia... thing. Oh, we gotta have a little panic attack first, though. Alright, bomb is set, because as I cannot stress this enough, we are terrorists. But yeah, I don't have the materia command yet, so I can't actually equip that restore button. What I really want to do is take the magic materia off of Cloud, because that will increase his strength. Equipping magic materia reduces your strength and reduces the amount of damage he does. And I want to keep Cloud chonky. I could be casting Bolt on this monster, I guess. Okay, let's save. Let's fight the gang. This is the gang. Oh no, we want to keep the bow equipped. In order to preserve those flame casts. How do you guys feel about the black and white color scheme on my... Alright, so 4 east. So that's 2, 3, 4, and 3 south. That's 1 south. I gotta go 2 more south. I did not south enough! What was I doing? Magic. Can I please have Cure? Can I please have Cure? Can I please have Cure? Can I sell... I don't need to sell anything right now. Alright. Magic. You. How do I learn magic? Do I do this? Yes. Okay. Who has... I think Soul is what I'm looking for. Probably everybody has the same kind of stats. Yeah. Yeah, okay. What I want to do is cast Cure on everybody. And yeah, we got to do this 50 times to level up Cure once. Really? Absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. And that's every spell in the game. And that's just to go from level 1 to 2. There are 16 spell levels. That's the problem, is it doesn't matter what version of Final Fantasy II you're playing, you cannot naturally progress through the leveling sequence for any weapon or magic skill naturally playing the game. You simply cannot. And in some versions of the game, especially the Famicom version, I do think later versions might be a little better about it, but the Famicom version, you can get into boss fights that you A, cannot win, and B, cannot lose. We finally hit the title card in Final Fantasy IX. At long last. But that's not the intro. That's like the start of the intro sequence. Like everything before that was just the pre-intro. Like we're still working on the intro to the intro. We've done the pre-intro. Now we're doing the post-pre-intro. And then after that is the intro. Meanwhile, these guys... I'm going to fight this. And... probably absolutely a bad idea. No, we got it. Not worth fighting, but you know. I kind of can't believe this is behind. We must have just switched to the other Final Fantasy one more often. We're like playing with fire now, trying to take down 2 of these things at once. For that reason. That's why. So now we're going to have to hope. I've got potions, but I don't have Phoenix Downs. Here, I'll use this potion on you, so you don't die coming up here. Mage down! We're going to have to go to the clinic. Or the church. I guess it's a church in this version. I'll fight a lizard. I think they've got like 90 hit points. We might survive this. Hey, he missed Ignis. Gladio's just going to have to catch up later, that's all. Oh, alright. I will not pass up the save point. You never know when we're going to get a random game over. Could kind of happen at any moment. A lot of these very, very early areas in Final Fantasy games are a lot swingier than my memory will tell. Like, I'll think of all these, like, oh, these are super easy games, but then I'll, like, forget, like, oh, there's one encounter. Like, we just took some, like, a weird critical and lost our fighter in Final Fantasy 1, just out of nowhere. Like, it does happen. So we do need to make sure we're saving. I can't just rely, because, yeah, the BizHawk Shuffler is making save states every time it switches, but that save state is only there so we can switch back to it later. It's not actually like it's not saving our state to make sure we have a reload point. Now, Final Fantasy VI, no, it does. It erases all. If it's a Final Fantasy VI, you lose all of your progress. You go back to your last save, but you retain any experience you got. And most other Final Fantasy games don't even do that much. You just completely lose state. That's going to come up big time in the end of Final Fantasy III, which has like legendarily stressful finale dungeon areas. No, the music in Final Fantasy Mystic Quest did not have to go this hard. They just did anyway, because they love us, and I love them. Oh! So Kaylee has a life spell. All of your helper buddies get the life spell. So no matter what, we can always fix that problem. You see? It's actually a bigger problem very early in the game because Kaylee only has, I think, like 3 shots of that. Later on, we have functionally infinite life spell because you get more charges of white magic than you get of anything else. Oh, thanks for the axe. Now, Kaylee has a much better axe that we're not allowed to have. For whatever reason. Do I even want to go through here? There's a box down here. These are not actual boxes. These little like brown ones, they They actually replenish themselves if we leave the map and come back in. All the monsters come back, and then all the boxes come back. But I think we can bypass most of the monsters. Just get like a jump start on our potions. Is what we like most. If we had come through here with Kaylee, because Kaylee won't chop the trees for us, right? We would have had to fight all of these jokers. And yeah, you know what? I don't care about... Do I care about over here? I might care about over there. I might... you know what? I have a dog scratching at my door. What are you doing over here? Come on. Why aren't you asleep in bed? You made me waste half of my Final Fantasy IV Free Enterprise Oops All Edwards swap on... I don't, like... Yeah, she's just scratching at the door. She only has a doggy bed in every single other room of the house. She needs to be in one of the 2 doggy beds that I have here in my office. Ah, I can use it. No, I can't use a diamond ring because Udward already had one. We'll take mute arrows. Get rid of a short sword. Get rid of a flame whip. Get rid of a long sword. What does our inventory even look like at the moment? Here, let's... I mean, it's looking pretty... It's looking pretty gnarly, I would say. Let's go upstairs and get our hover McCraft. And the castle's just on fire forever. Like, it never rains in this universe. Nobody ever comes along to put out the fire. Anna's dead, and now Edward and Udward are sad. Sorry, boys. Alright, what other freebies can we get? I don't really want to go into a dungeon that's got boss fights yet. Yeah, that nail attack's not great. Our baby dragon's not going to be good for a minute. Oh, okay, it wants us to take 4 full steps to the east, not 4 squares to the east. Alright, we'll flame here. The problem is, if we got to do more than 13 battles in this dungeon, we're not going to make it. We're going to be out of attacks. Lizard's meat? No thanks. Alright, encounter rate. Let's comp. You know, I gotta run. Because I need... Wait, where are my items at? Didn't I have potions and stuff? Alright, let's do this. Let's go up the mountain here. We should be well enough equipped with Artemis bow. I think Edward's got a great bow to defeat Cagnazzo, maybe. I have 2 Zeus rages, so when the time comes and I have to use lit on it, I can do that. Okay, you're dead. Now you're dead. Okay, so we got the 3rd Edward in the party. We're going to gain a whole bunch of levels. Because you were in the front row. You were not smart enough to get into the back row. We can do that, and then we can do this. And then we can loot this place. And we didn't even need any of our Zeus rages, because, yeah, the Artemis bow is just too strong. Really, really good. Edward is actually a really good character in this game. You just gotta get him out of the early game. And actually, this strength bow, we might give that to one of you. Strength bow, it's a ring, not a bow. Oh, you can't use it. Never mind. Don't need a dancing dagger. Can't use a diamond hat. Okay. I'll take a Stardust. We gotta go heal our... and use the naming way on our remaining Edward. To the pirates! As I recall, Galuf was about to die. Nah, he's still standing. He's not even at, like, his low HP threshold. He's doing fine. Come to think of it, Galuf also has pants that are just too orange. They're more like yellow. They're more like mustard color, I guess. Mustard pants, orange pants. Alright, we pirates now. All we gotta do is steal their boat. This is a definitely good idea that will not backfire. The Final Fantasy V storyline is like characters keep having terrible ideas that don't work, but it doesn't matter that they don't work because the game and the narrative, I should say, the storyline never holds any of the characters accountable for their terrible ideas. Like, none of your decisions matter. The narrative is always just stitched together with just like coincidence and happenstance and dumb stupid luck. You're always like 10 minutes too late to accomplish whatever important thing you were trying to do. It gets a little better in World 2, like when you get to like Zizat's fleet and whatnot, but for most of the game you're just kind of bumbling along like you're inside of a rock tumbler. What was I doing? Do I want to go over here? I want to do 2 fights for a box? Yeah, I do. I want this box very, very badly. And if I've got to get stabbed and punched... How did I get stabbed by an ooze, by the way? How is that even a thing? In fact, I will use one of my cure spells on myself here. I think we're one-shotting everything now with the axe, which I love to see. And yeah, we are going to clear out the battlefields as we go. There's no point to like trying to play this game efficiently. Like, it's actually, like the longer we stretch out Mystic Quest, I think the better, because that means the longer it will stay in the rotation. Because we're going to get to a point in this project where I'm going to be like, man, I miss Mystic Quests. Would be nice if I still had it. Well, we can go back here now and climb into the person's bed again. Also, this is a real box or a brown box? It's a brown box. But like, hey, cure potions, I'll take it. I tried to knock on the door and I didn't have to. Hurrah. We got a dead mage! It's okay, I fix Magic Man. Oh, it's this. The church. And then we'll see how many ice spells we can get without going under, I think $50 is the inn. Just one. Eventually we're going to want everybody with Temper. Like, Temper is the best spell in this version of the game. We're going to be stacking a lot of Temper later on. That's way down the road. That's like 10,000 swaps away. Every cool thing is like 10,000 swaps away. Remember, though, if we get the chance this swap to rename Locke, we do have to actually rename Locke. We're going to name him Loki. We're not going to name him Loki. Oh, that is how I thought his name was pronounced for the first, I don't know, 5-6 years that I played this game when it came out. I thought the character's name was Loke, because it has an E on the end of it. You put an E on the end of a word, it turns the vowel sound of the word from a short vowel to a long vowel. So the ah sound becomes the O sound. Like the word poke, or joke, or toke, or moke. I don't know what moke is, but if I saw it spelled out, M-O-K-E, that's how I'd pronounce it. And I didn't think the addition of the C meant anything. Like, you're just mispronouncing the word lock if you put an E on the end of it. Anyway, I had an argument with a friend of mine back in the day. I think in like 7th grade or something is when that game came out, about whether the character's name was Loke or Loki. And it turns out we were both wrong. Whoops. Alright, I'm going to hit the free inn here. And I think we got all the goodies we're going to get out of this little town. And then we go back into the cave, and there's a couple of free goodies we can get. And then can we go into the mithril mine? I think we might be able to, but the stuff in there is going to be, like, janky hard right off the bat. Maybe we want to do the castle first, then the mithril mine. Get the red mage sword. There's a special red mage sword in this game. It's bananas. Yeah, there's a whole section of this cave that you don't get to see, filled with treasures that, unless you think to come back in here, you'll never get all this stuff. I miss the Edwards. That's another thing. You play Final Fantasy IV, you get to a point, you're like, oh man, I miss Edward. He's not in your party for very long. He's in your party for like 2 scenes. Then he's gone forever, and you play the like entire game without your boy Edward. So you never get to see like how awesome he actually is in battle. His thing is like Edward's agility grows faster than like any other characters in the game. Whoops, I am about to attack the mist. So like in the standard game, you only have him for like a couple of like 1 dungeon, and then he's gone forever. And so you never like get him see. You never get to see him like come into his own. He never gets to a point where his agility is high enough that he's like, Edward's getting 2 turns for everybody else in the party. That's crazy. He never gets to come into his own. But we will get to see that in Free Enterprise, because we can level him up as much as we want. In fact, it's possible the 7 levels we got from that one boss fight we did is already higher level than you will tend to see Edward typically, which is very funny. I'm sorry, I just clicked another window to check something, and I can't remember now if I set it up in OBS to capture mouse cursor or not. So if you saw the mouse cursor get dragged across the screen just now, I'm sorry. I'll try to not do that again. I always get personally and eternally offended if I see a streamer's mouse cursor. It's like, turn off your mouse cursor, dude. And here I am. Same problems, same mistakes. Oh, here's our boy Loki. Or Loki. Is it Loki or Loki? I don't even remember now. We don't get to name him until the next swap. I forget, do we actually get any black magic at all before we make it to Jin? I don't even remember. I don't think Torgal can use knives. Can I just give him the extra knives we had? I don't remember now. Skill up, that's what we like to see. I will try to give him some knives. Yeah, he can use them. I don't know why I'm having Torgal fight without weapons. I'm the smartiest. That's the wrong way. Is there another... Nope. So, like, the Onion Boys came down into the cave, and there's like a hole in this room that they fell into, and the game opens on the floor underneath us where they fell down to. That's kind of the idea. So you have to think to come back into this cave and see the actual entryway area of it if you want to get the hidden treasures. The important treasure is a special sword. I think it's the Serpent Sword for Jill. Or for any red mage, but, you know, Jill is our red mage right now. But yeah, all this free loot. Like, the boys didn't take any of this. Alright, back out here. Back to this. Actually, I think when one person gets to level 2 Fisties, we might just move on and do the first story mission. Because once we get Minwu in the party, we can use an exploit to power level everybody's weapon skills very, very easily. It's time-consuming, and the swap mechanic in the shuffler will make it seem much, much more time-consuming than it really is. But the method I use is basically when we swap to Final Fantasy II, just input commands for one character, and then next time we swap to it, input commands for the next character. And in that way, we will just get a whole bunch of free experience for Fisties. So we should get some HP from Maria here, because she took damage from the Hornet, and then she took a tick of poison, right? Yeah. Oh good, intelligence down for somebody. There's a new longsword. We'll equip all this stuff in a second here once we get through get these last few treasures. And I don't think we actually want to jump down into the hole. I think we just end up where the game started and we gotta walk back out again. But the crystal's been sitting here this whole time. Like, anybody from town could have just wandered in here, and it just happened to be us. But the boys were not smart enough to do all of this looting. But yeah, 2 longswords would be nice. You can buy all this equipment too in town, but if you do, it's just kind of a waste of money because you get it all for free. So nunchuck. I actually think we don't want to equip a nunchuck. I think he's doing fine without it. Alright, so you can have a longsword. Can you even use a longsword? You cannot, but you can take this dagger. You know what? Since you're my healer, I'm also going to give you this. Ah, the sleep spell. There is black magic available. Cool. I don't know how useful it is, but I've got 10 casts of sleep. Please wake up before the swap. I don't want the whole swap to just be sitting here staring at your smear of pixels, bro. Don't do me dirty. Now get ready to fight. Yeah, baby. Easiest boss fight ever. It's the same boss fight in Final Fantasy 4, 5, 6, and 7. Is fight the monster, but not when the monster does this. This one turns to mist, and Wing Raptor puts its flaps up, and Welk retreats into its shell. And the big scorpion... Well, we had a chance of seeing the big scorpion right there, as I said, big scorpion, because we're coming through the swap. But it, like, puts up its erect tail. Let's leave Foresta. Okay. Let's get our next character here before we do the battlefield. Let's do a battlefield with 2 characters. We'll play it smart. I think we do get less experience, but the battlefield will go a little quicker. No, the soundtrack does not have to go this hard. It doesn't. I don't know if anybody's ever tried literally having 9,000 gold before you get to that scene where Tristan asks you for 9,000 gold. In theory, it's possible, because there's a battlefield you can clear out for some gold, and then you can go back to level forest and fight the gremlins and blobs for any arbitrary amount of golds you might want. I didn't save. I don't think it's going to matter, but I didn't save. I went to the inn, but I didn't save. It doesn't automatically save in the inn in this version. Like I said, we'll be fine. I did select Dawn of Souls as the Final Fantasy 15 stand-ins because I knew I was going to do 4 black mages, and that game kind of famously, the character design are just like 4 dudes wearing like black clothes. It's the closest thing to a color scheme any of the characters have. Is like their black clothes and their black jackets and their black jeans. Like Gladio's got these really tight-fitting like black jeans and his like amazing butt inside of the jeans, and then like sometimes Prompto like takes pictures of his butt inside of the jeans, and then at the end of the game where like all the dudes are like having a moment and Noctis is like, I want to remember you guys forever, man, because you guys are like my bros, and he's like, can I get your photo journal, your what's it called, album, Prompto, because I want to take a picture to remember you guys by when I go to fight the final boss and die. Spoilers for Final Fantasy 15. That's how the game ends. Of course, I didn't pick a picture where like Noctis and his friends are hanging out. Oh wait, do I have to? Yeah, we can finally config. Okay, controller. Cut. That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. Movement. Run. Field message, fast. Here icon, that's good. Classic, yeah. Good. The nice blue windows. Do I want to give Vivi the wrist? I don't think so. I think we just power through this scene. All we can like find in these little areas are paltry amounts of gil that don't matter. So can I has ticket, please? Eventually the cure spell will level up. We'll just use as much cure as we can before we stay at the inn to try to level the cure spell up. Because I do think we're going to want just some easy healing magic, just for peace of mind. Like, yeah, we could just buy a bunch of cure tomes and use those, but I don't know that that's what we want to do with our life. I just attacked myself. And I wish I hadn't, because I'm pretty sure he's going to kill himself. Fantastic. Well, Guy will get a little bit of bonus HP for this. I don't think he gets... Well, yeah, he must get credit for the weapon skill. For that punch. Maybe he doesn't. I don't know. Who knows, man? Here's what I know. I'm going to try the sleep spell on pretty much everything. As we go forward here. Not on these guys. I mean, we have 10 of them. We might as well. Like, we've already got access to level 2 magic. We can't get level 2 magic anytime soon. But we're going to get Jill a pretty good sword. Ineffective. Great. Thanks, Torgal. Couldn't have done it without you, bud. The question is, can I get to the mithril mine stuff? And should I try to do it now? Because the monsters in there are pretty tough. But I've got a couple of potions. Maybe I should go to the castle first. And... No, we do have to go down to the town first because we get an airship there. Right. We got to do that first. But maybe we'll do the castle and get the Red Mage's sword first. Before we try the mithril mine. Because I think it's a little easier. We might have better luck with our sleep spell. I think a save is probably a good idea. I'm not going to remember that I was trying to save when we swap back. I like how they draw the pendant on Lena's sprite there, and then it immediately vanishes once the scene no longer needs it. They should feel lucky that the pirates didn't just kill them. I mean, obviously there's a reason they didn't, because Faris recognizes her sister's pendant, but... Like, yeah, like... This is what I mean. Like, if they had been any other pirates, right? Because their plan was, let's steal the pirate ship. If they had been any other pirates, that's it. They're keel-hauled. They're done. Cutlasses across the neck, bleeding out on deck, gaff hooks, dragging intestines out of holes in your stomach that weren't there before you decided to pick a fight with the pirates. But because by sheer stupid coincidence, this pirate happens to be the princess's sister, nothing bad happens. Limit break. I'm gonna use bolt, actually. Because it hasn't done its big, like, tail erection phase yet. But I think it's just like the Mist Dragon. Like, we're going to get to a point where it's not going to be safe to just attack it anymore. Like, we'll put in a command to attack it, and then it'll go into its erect tail state. Like, it just happened. The thing I said just happened right there. Bear's going to say, don't attack it while it's up. The Bear's going to jump forward and attack it while it's up, and we're going to get tail lasered. Is Barrett going to survive? He barely does. That fills up Cloud's limit. And it fills up Barrett's limit. Oh, actually, attacking it with 2 limit breaks while its tail's up is probably also a bad idea, isn't it? What have I done? I'm gonna do this fight over. Oh, I'm so stupid. Oh! Nope. No problem. I am still in this fight. By the absolute skin of my teeth. Yeah, look, here's all my old saves. Like, they're here for whatever reason. Okay. I am going to go into the config here. Controller, customize, talk, confirm, walk, cancel. That's what I want. So now my triangle is my, yeah. And I think I want to go into the library because there's a draw point. And I think this will fast travel me to the library. But yeah, I think there's a draw point back here that'll be useful to... Oh, maybe it's hidden. Actually, I need to equip GFs before I can do anything. We'll give... Yeah, got draw. We'll give Shiva to Keistis when we get back there. Ability, you're going to be able to draw. I want you to be able to use magic. I want you to use items, and you've got no... You've got no class. You've got no style. This Kong has a funny face. I thought there was a Suna draw point back in there. I could be incorrect. I could be... Maybe it's a hidden one. Oh, there is. See, I knew it. I knew there was one. I don't know if it's Asuna, though. I might be wrong about that. I would like to get some Asuna very early. That would be kind of cool. Yo, we are going to scrape that Guard Scorpion fight back from the plinths of Hades. Well, I just did it again! The same thing. This isn't going to be nearly as catastrophic, though. But yeah, Cecil is totally about to pull a Barrett here. Cold Mist. Yeah, whatever. This is Barrett saying this. Do not fight now. Fighting when Mist will. What it should say is that, like, some enemies have counterattacks when they're hit. Because there's 2 boss fights, this one and later the Antlion fight. I don't think either one of them do a really good job tutorializing the idea of bosses countering certain kinds of attacks. Because every boss in the game does something like that. It's not just a gimmick for these 2 fights early on. But I don't remember if, like, the instruction manual for this game lays it out very well either. Alright, let's throw Cain into the Shadow Realm. Nope, let's fight these imps first. They're not even imps. You know what? If they're not imps, I don't want them. There's just no point to fighting these encounters, because none of the experience that goes to Cecil matters. Because he zeroes it all out when he turns into a Paladin later. And by the time Cain rejoins much later in the game, he'll just have all the experience that we've earned from the point where he left. So, like, the 30 or whatever, it's just not going to matter. Do I need this in? Yes. Silly question. Alright, we're going to walk back up to the Temple of the Fiends, get a few free treasures, grab a little bit of experience on the way. Fight these clowns again. So the next thing we really need to do in this game is get Ash level 3 magic charge. Getting her the spell that we want to be able to cast will be trivial, because the gold to purchase it is just going to be in treasure boxes that we can trivially reach. But she has to get a high enough level that she can actually cast the spell we want to be able to cast in order to get through the boss fight that we want to get through. There's other ways to get through the boss fight, but that's going to be the easiest way. And a black mage gets that charge at level 4, I think. So the red mage might have to go a little higher. And honestly, at level 4, we might just try it anyway, even without the Lit 2 spell. Because by then, Fran, I can give Fran Ruse and put Fran in the front and have her Ruse herself in order to buy some hits during the wizard fight. Like, that's the fight we need to be able to get through. By level 4, we should be strong enough to handle it. But again, I don't want to win this game too quickly. Like, I don't want to get to a point in this project where I'm like, oh man, I wish Final Fantasy 1 was still around. It'll be nice to keep as many games in the rotation for as long as possible. Maybe this really will take 490 hours. Alright, tip your cap, Governor. Here, I'll give that to you. Because you're like the most important character in the party, really. We're heading for the Wind Shrine. Oorah. The Purple Pirates. Gotta love them. So, traditionally, I think you'd want to go to Thule first and like get some equipment and stuff, but I don't think we're going to need it. We're going to go straight to the Wind Shrine. We'll be fine. I know, famous last words. Forest starts with a dagger, which is a pretty good weapon at this point in the game. Cannot say enough nice things about the cool rust-colored text windows we've got. Really, really happy with those. We may not get to the job system in this game in this second session. I mean, I'm swapping as fast as I can, and I feel like we've seen Final Fantasy V overrepresented tonight. Like, we've been switching to it pretty consistently. But, like I said, I think we're looking at an average of 18 minutes on, like, between swaps for a given game, if the robot brain I asked about it is correct. I don't know. Sometimes I don't think these robot brains are very smart at all, to be honest. Sometimes I think they're rather dumb. Barrett, can you please potion yourself? You know what? Actually, I'm kind of glad that happened, because what we did here is we got Cloud and Barrett to both use their limit break twice. And the more uses of their limit break we get, the quicker they'll learn their later limit break. And we want to learn lots of limit breaks. A new gun for the Barrett Meister. Oh yeah, we'll equip that real quick. Show ticket. It's a fake! I am going to play as little cards as I possibly can. We're going to probably play a lot of cards in 8, I think, maybe. for that? How is this my fault? Like, I tripped and fell. How about, hey kid, you alright? Hope you're not hurt. Everyone in Alexandria is a jerk. Okay, I'll be a slave. It's my dream come true. Yeah, it's clear. Like, don't get me wrong, I think all of these little scenes are, like, super charming, and they do a lot to establish the characters and themes of the game, but replaying Final Fantasy IX is, like, it's a chonky game. It's a lot to chew through. So... and I do think we're going to, like, halfway through this project, we're just going to have, like, Final Fantasy IX... and like 7 and like a little bit of mop up in a smattering of other games. That's going to be the halfway point, I think. Is it like a lot of 7 left, a lot of 9 left, and then just like bits and bobs of a couple of the other games. Maybe after getting lots of unlucky breaks in some of them. Or depending on like how much of the... Like, are we going to do all of the World of Ruin? Are we going to do like all of the... all the tablet dungeons in 5? Like, I guess we'll find out. I will beat on her. I will beat the child. Wow, I stabbed that child with a spear and she didn't die. Crazy. Oh, she has a big friend. A big, very buff friend. Like, they're only... I don't know about buff. Like, they're only muscles. It look like weird, like, skin flaps. Like, he has gills all along his back. It's a little unsettling, I guess. And we don't need to buy anything in the next town either. They're going to ask us if I want to go straight to the Wind Shrine. I would like to. Yes, thank you. I do like how much progress we're making in 5. Like, I think we've switched to 5. I think we're, like, above the curve in 5. You know what I mean? 21 minutes in here. This late in the game. Okay, let's see if I can remember where the treasures are. Here's the jug. Trying to remember what treasures are even in here. I think there's another long sword. I think there's a stick for white mages. Or maybe some armor. I'm going to try to get all of it, though. Because at that early stage in the game, it's just good to snarf up all of the resources you can. The games that have in-game playtime will be a good monitor for, like, how much we've... I mean, it'll be a great monitor for how much we spent in each game. Like, we're kind of 20-ish minutes into each of the games now. Although not all of the clocks run at the correct speed, I think. Some of the clocks run differently. Because they literally run based on how many frames the game processes, not counting actual seconds and minutes. But, like, it's close enough. It's whatever. And yeah, remember when we sped through that whole water dungeon with the Edwards and just got all the stuff and then left? Nope, we just got to go through it for real now. Back into 5. Yeah, well, I feel like we're ahead of the curve here. Maybe that's an illusion. I don't know. I could set it to keep it consistently equal through all swaps. I could set it to, like... always swap in order for one instead of a random each time. And I can set it to a fixed amount of time instead of a variable amount of time, which is what I've got. I could do those things. Tent. Nice dagger, Faris. Also, I think she has dreadlocks. Oh, all right. We'll use the save point. Actually, I think one of the treasures is behind the boss fight, honestly. We should get some good health out of this fight. Guy punched himself, I think, is what happened. Nope, only his power went up, not his HP. Great. We're gonna be here a minute. We still haven't hit level 2 in our weapons. Well, part of it is because I'm trying to get a little bit of hit points and evasion and stuff early on as well. I'm not going straight for punchities. Once we hit level 2 punchities on somebody, because our strength will determine like how much damage we can do with each attack, and then our punchities level will determine how many attacks we can do. And sometimes the monsters just run away from you. What can you do about that? The monsters are already terrified of me, and I've not even gained a single level yet. But you know, what I've been saying about all these games is you don't want to finish Final Fantasy II too early. Like, I don't want to get to a point where I'm like, man, I really miss Final Fantasy II. You will never, ever hear me say, I really miss Final Fantasy II. Not gonna happen. Sorry. But I don't think we don't actually have to have the attacks come out. All we have to do is input the command. We get credit for doing the attack just for inputting the command. So like rounds like that where we fail to kill the goblins are actually better for us because everybody gets to input the command a second time. Cool. We have to revive one of the bros. Gladio is a little behind anyway. I obtain a ship. I will keep it in my pocket forever. Let's revive the dude. Stay at the inn again. You gotta get out of my way. I'm not... I don't move for NPCs. I make them move for me. I have some self-respect as the human player of the video game. Like, I'm the one in charge. You are the computer brain that barely functions. YouTube started a new computer brain thing. They're like, try our new AI, like, algorithm thing. And I could not think of a way that, like, an AI, well, I assume would be Gemini, right? Because that's Google's AI. Like a Gemini-run algorithm. Like, what possible difference could there be between that and just the standard, like, YouTube home screen algorithm? Like, what... But I do have some complaints about the YouTube home screen algorithm. So I'm like, all right, I'll try it. So one of the things, there's two things I don't like about the home screen algorithm on YouTube. I'm like, one thing I do like is I can count on it to serve as much entertainment as I care to watch. I can always just sit down on my home screen and I know the videos on it are just going to be entertaining. You know what I mean? It's going to show me like Auntie Chef's new uploads, or it's going to be like clips from Mad Men or a Game of Thrones, or like the stuff that I like to watch on YouTube. But discoverability is really hard on YouTube. It's really hard to discover like new cool things, because if I try to search for cool things that I like using the existing YouTube algorithm, it just shows me the most popular versions of those things, which I'm already being served because I already have the algorithm. So it's like, okay, the AI was like, type in a few things that you want to see. So I typed in literally show me videos like about the interests you already know that I have, with two exceptions. One, only show me videos that you've never served me before, because YouTube sucks about serving videos. Like, on my home screen, it will frequently serve me the same video over and over and over again in different little tabs. And two, only show me videos from channels with fewer than 50,000 subscribers or something. Because it's really hard to just find smaller channels on YouTube. Discoverability is terrible. It always wants to just show you the most popular thing in whatever you are looking for. And like, I gotta say, that's exactly what it did. It gave me a whole screen filled with stuff that I've never seen before on my home screen, but which seemed pertinent to my interests. So maybe the new... It didn't say... Yeah, it didn't say it was Gemini specifically, but that's the name of Google's like AI stuff. Like, I've got a Google phone, and it wants to put Gemini in everything. Like, I've got Gemini in my Chrome browser. Like, I'm assuming it's all the same bot, right? Because Google, like, YouTube is Google, so it's like the new Gemini algorithm. I don't know. Anyway, I have a whole screen filled of YouTube videos from, like, channels I've never heard of. And I'm kind of like excited to finish up this recording session and kind of go through them and see if I can discover new cool stuff. I have recently been down a rabbit hole of watching, for some reason, alcohol and sobriety videos. Like, I got like tangled up into that side of YouTube, and like a lot of those channels are like really fascinating for whatever reason. So I have quite watched a lot of those, and right now YouTube is suggesting I watch a lot more. That's just how the algorithm works. So I don't know, maybe it would be nice to get some new videos in my rotation to enjoy, instead of the same like 50 or 100 channels or whatever I typically watch. Honestly, I have no idea how anybody could ever possibly find my channel on YouTube. Like, unless you just specifically know a video or, like, a stream that I've done or made. Or if you follow me on social media, on, like, Blue Sky or on my Discord. Like, other than that, how would you even know to come to my channel? The discovery algorithm is just never going to bring new people here. This is a fight I want to win. I want to win this fight. I want to win this fight... Biggie most big time. I'm going to give it my all, and I don't know if I'm going to make it. I guess we'll find out. Because we're going to take a lot of damage from these nerds, so... Actually, my YouTube channel is at a severe disadvantage in the algorithm, because one of the things the algorithm checks... I saw somebody's YouTube video on this, and I'm assuming that this is still how it works. Who knows if the YouTube algorithm changes from one week to another? I don't know. But they explain it like this. Like, okay, so there's like an equation at some point in the algorithm. It's like, here's your list of subscribers. Like, here's the list of people who have subscribed to your channel. Versus, here's how often people actually watch your videos from that list. So, if you have a lot of subscribers... But when those people log into YouTube to watch videos and see your video on their list because they're subscribed to you, if they don't click it, like, your algorithm placement takes a hit, because clearly something about your channel is not appealing to people even after they've said they wanted to see your videos. I'm guilty of this. Obviously, I'm subscribed to tons and tons of people whose videos I don't watch. Sorry, that's just... I have to account for my own tastes and habits too. But here's the problem. My YouTube video is old as balls. I set this video... My channel has been here since 2008. And I've been hovering around 5,000 subscribers for quite a lot of that time, actually. It's pretty pathetic how slowly my channel has grown over the years. But the problem is, such a huge percentage of my list of subscribers are dead channel, or like dead accounts. People who no longer log into YouTube for any reason. Because my channel is so old, and so many of those subscribers are people who don't have those accounts anymore or don't use them or whatever, that my rate for like subscriber watch is lower than single digits for sure. So I learned this years ago. Like I said, I watched somebody's breakdown of it, of like how like various parts of the YouTube algorithm works, and it makes a lot of sense to me. And it makes a lot of sense specifically because I have this habit of like seeing a person's video and hitting subscribe, but the next time they upload, I don't watch their video, because I don't want to commit to watching it right now, or like it's not the same kind of content that I clicked subscribe for in the first place, or whatever the reason. It really doesn't matter. But like, the YouTube algorithm sees that behavior as like, well, they got the person to click the subscribe button, but they don't actually want to watch the videos. So when we, the algorithm, have to determine what videos to show them, we're not going to factor their subscription to that channel in because they don't have the view follow through. I don't know if any of that made sense. It makes sense in my head. And it's never, to me, been a good enough reason to... Are you Mog? You're Mog. I want all your stuff. Thank you. In my opinion, it's never been a good enough reason to, like, try to revamp the channel in any way. Yeah, it was. I even knew what spell it was. 14 Asunas. That's a lot. I don't know. There's a part of me that's just happy to like have gotten like to 5,000 subscribers at a time in YouTube's history where that was like an impressive amount. It's not an impressive amount today, but my brain still exists back in like 2010. I know there's other draw points in other areas of the garden, but as soon as I just wanted to grab off the cuff, aka off the chain, aka off the hook. And now we're going to go get Keistis. No, now we're going to make sure our GFs are going to learn something useful. No, summon magic? No, not going to happen. I want HPJ. Summon magic, no thanks. I want Strength J. Let's get those stat boosts going. I'm not falling behind. Into the steeple. Here we go. Oh, I got moogled. Imagine being a Moogle named Kupo. Like, every Moogle says Kupo. That'd be like being a human named Hay. Hi, this is my friend Hay. Hay the human. Oh, I don't want to deal with Mognet. Do you get anything for doing... Is there any reason to do Mognet? Can I just safely ignore Mognet is the question of a lifetime. I would like to think I can just ignore Mognet and not worry about it. These creeps are going to be tough without any... Actually, I should have used spells with Ash. Yeah, this is what I was worried about. You know what? We're going to Cure. And I'm going to double up on Cure. And we're going to die. Poor Bosch. He got creeped on. Now I can't win this fight. I'm going to try to win the fight anyway, though. We'll just... And then we'll just run from everything else in here. Because again, getting Ash the little bit of extra experience that she'll get, because Bosch won't get any, might be very helpful. And this is actually like the toughest possible fight you can get in this dungeon. 2 creeps is crazy, man. I'm going to use Lit here and try to end this fight as swiftly as possible. Alright, we got to get you guys to a town, because one of the Edwards is dead, and we got to rename that Edward. And I haven't really seen his color scheme yet. I forget what color scheme we're working with. The question is... You know, we'll go to Kaipo. We'll go to Kaipo and do it. And then we'll do some of the boss fights around here. Like, we'll do the Mist Dragon, and then we'll do the Antlion Cave, and do those boss fights. Just to grab some super easy early levels. Now that I've got 3 characters. All of the other characters are going to be behind other boss fights. So once I get this Edward leveled on those couple of bosses, then we'll see if we can take down the boss in Baron Town, because that's another character check. And that'll be another Edward. This is not an Edward, this is a Squall. And I really, really want to get out on the world map in this game. Because once we get to the world map, we are officially done with what I'm going to call the intro to Final Fantasy VIII. Even though the whole Dalit segment is kind of like an intro sequence, but there's like a lot of game before that, so... And we are just going to do some, like, stuff out here. We're going to get some abilities for GFs. I want to make Squall good and powerful before we go very far in the game. We do have to go through this tutorial, though. And you're not allowed to skip this. You just have to sit here and watch the game use the menu for you. I remember once... way, way back in the day, in my RPG makering days, for some reason I had made a bunch of like assets for RPG Maker 2000 that were like menu assets, like boxes and stuff like this, like borders, and and I don't remember why I did it, but I was like grabbing them out of a whole bunch of different games and making them, like mostly like SNES and NES games. You could boot those up in an emulator, get a bunch of screenshots, load them into MS Paint, or I didn't use Paint. What did I use? I must have been using some version of Photoshop or Paint Shop Pro or something. But I had somebody ask, like, can you get me the gray boxes from Final Fantasy VIII? And I couldn't, because at the time, like, there was no PlayStation emulators, and I didn't have a way to plug my PlayStation into, like, a capture card or anything. This was in the year 2001 or something. So what I did was I just literally made slate gray boxes. They're like, yeah, here you go. And the guy was upset, because the boxes aren't solid gray. They have like a gradient to them, like a shadow like at each edge a little bit. And I didn't properly get that. And he was very angry. And the argument I should have made was like, I was doing you a favor for free. But I actually felt really bad, and I got yelled at, and I probably paid it forward, and then I turned around and I was mean to somebody on IRC or something. Anyway. We have a small child in our party now. And in the other FF4 we're running, we have a whole bunch of summon spells that we could have used. Alright, we're going to put you here. And we're just going to wait for this battle to play itself out. And we'll see how far we can go. Might almost be time to start looking for where I want to exit. Like, I think I said this at the end of the last video. Like, there's not going to be any point where it's going to be a good time for me to step away from this. I'm just going to have to arbitrarily decide at some point that that was the last swap. Like, yeah, like, right now I'm feeling pretty good. Like, I could go for a while, but I'm also looking at the clock and saying it's 2:14. Like, I probably should go to bed at some point. I mean, by go to bed, I mean lay awake and watch stuff being fed to my brain from the YouTube algorithm for another hour and a half. But you guys know that. You're using this video to fall asleep. Don't judge me. Here, let's not end on Final Fantasy VII, though, because there's a timer situation happening here. Like, yeah, we got plenty of time. We're not going to get caught here, but... I don't know that I want to end the session with a game in, like, the middle of a timed area, you know what I mean? We're going to get to a point where, like, we're going to be in timed areas in, like, 6 different games. It's going to be crazy. Here, instead of changing rows, I'm just going to bolt this nerd, I think. Oh, but it might be another 20 minutes before we go back to FF7. We didn't get anywhere near the end of that time sequence. I can't guarantee we're going to get out of there. It might be funny if we run out of... I've never actually run out of Ninja Stars for Tristan, but, like, theoretically it's possible, right? Actually, I don't think it is. I think brown boxes in the Bone Dungeon. Yes, this game has a dungeon called the Bone Dungeon. And I think we can just continuously open those to get stars out of. Which is cool. Ooh, level up. Yeah, you kind of don't want to do battlefields with just Benjamin alone. So later on, we're going to get the exit spell. And the exit spell is like an insta-death spell. If you cast it in battle, it immediately just erases a monster, but you don't get the experience points from that monster. Which is a little interesting. So I don't know how much I'm going to abuse the exit spell. Battles are pretty quick, even if you don't abuse stuff like that in this game. Go back to 7. I want to go back to 7, please. This is not 7. I mean, none of the timer missions are really that tight. Like, I don't think I'm actually going to lose in any of the timer missions. Like, I'm not worried about that. Except for maybe, like, Karnak Castle. Which, come to think of it, is the first timer mission in the series, isn't it? Final Fantasy IV doesn't have any. Yeah, I think that's right. I think that's the first timer mission you got to play in the Final Fantasy series. They put the hardest one right up front, and then it just kind of became like a tradition for a couple of games. Like 6, 7, 8, and 9 all have timer sections, and then after that they kind of stopped. All right, we're done with this. Dust Requiem. Do the cave-in. Everybody do the cave-in. The cave-in is a dance. If you know, you know. I can't help you. You don't have to do the battles this way. You can just, like, march straight to the boss, but this is the fewest brain cycles. Go to 7, please, Bubble. This is not 7. This is that creep again. Well, I mean, we're right here, so... Treasure box is empty. What do you mean treasure box is empty? How is the treasure box empty? I haven't been over here. Did I come over here? Oh, I was on my way out, not in. It had the cap in it. I'm on my way out of this. Oh, that door! The cursed door. We should be able to get back to Canaria and fix this. This little whoopsie doodle. Actually, giving Fran the ruse spell and letting her lead the party in cases where Bosch is dead is probably not a terrible idea. But also, there's not going to be a lot of those cases. Like, this is freakishly unlikely that the fighter has died this much early in the game. Like, that's actually crazy. He's got chain armor on. Like, that's the best armor in the game, pretty much. That's not that much of an exaggeration to say that the chain armor is... Go to 7! Ah. Oh, I didn't even see what I got from that battlefield. Okay, let's do this battlefield now. Oh, this one's gonna take a little longer. Oh no, we're killing those frogs in one volley of ninja stars. I don't think we're gonna get through the whole battlefield in one swap, though. Alright, this is where Benjamin's going to fall off. Unless we're weak to axe, and I don't think we are. No. Oh, we're still... Okay, I'll take it. Tristam is still in there. The tree I know I can do in one hit, because trees are weak to axe. Excellent. Man, I really am curious about the mystery of where those PlayStation 1 memory card files are stored for the shuffler. Because when I was thinking about recording this series, I'm like, I tried to boot up each of the emulator. Go to 7! Go to 7! This is not 7. I tried to boot up into the emulator each of the games, guys. I wanted to see where I was in each game, right? How far did I make it? And 7, 8, and 9 wouldn't boot. I mean, they booted into the game, but they said that there was no memory card available. So I looked up, like, okay, what directory is the memory card supposed to be stored in? And I looked into it, and it was set correctly. And I was able to find the files, but I wasn't able to get them to, like, load the file. I don't know what the problem is. And then now it's working. Not only is it working now, but it still has access to the old file. this. You know what? No, I don't want... This is mathematically identical, the third and fourth position of the party, but I want my party to be the way it needs to be. I cannot buy any magic. I'm too broke. I did not survive the cap chest. So yeah, it's weird that our fighter is the person who's behind. Alright, we have cleaned up our little whoopsie-whoopsie. We'll go up there, we'll get our tent and whatever else. Go to 7. I want to go to 7. Show me 7. No. That's what I wanted to do, because I wanted to use this on you so you don't die. I mean, you might die anyway. We'll find out. Alright, spider. Skeleton. You know what? I am going to just go with double flame. Should clear everything out once we get there. And we're just going to need to keep throwing potions at Snow. Do not eat spider meat. Take me to 7. This is not 7. Just don't feel like doing a back attack. Don't want to, don't have to. Second leather helmet for Her Royal Highness. She's not even going to say thank you. I probably could have killed that back attack really easily. I'm sorry. I'm still so early in the game here, but... Box. And it's a broadsword for the man who has no weapon. Take me to 7! This is not 7. Tell you what. How about another 5 minutes of swaps? Another 5 minutes of swaps. And if we don't see 7 by that point, we're just going to have 7 in the middle of a timed segment. Sometimes that's how it goes. You have to go up into this house. You need to do this plot trigger or else the game can't continue. Y'all have a very strangely shaped house. Yes, I would like to build my house so it is 2 large rooms connected by a long, thin hallway. Ain't make no kind of sense. You can go into the back row. Do you need more equipment, baby girl? Nah, you're alright. Go to 7! It's 7 plus 1. I don't want to go into the fire cavern anyway, because then I'll be in a timed segment in 2 games. But we're not going to be in... I think is what I want here. Yeah. Got 5,000 gold. First thing we're going to do. I mean, we're going to draw magic and we're going to get some ability points and stuff. My GFs are both learning things that I want. Here we go. Here's the water and water and water. R1 is the trigger. Got it. Thanks. I did not give you a GF. Whoops-a-doodle. Alright, we'll take me to 7. This is like 7 minus 2. Oh, you know what? I should have went in that other room. There should be a treasure box in that room. Should just be 2 rounds of this hacking at it. Should take me home here, Daddy. Alright, you're tearing me up a little bit. My numbers are low. I can see that now. Oh, you see I did it again. I just pulled another Barrett. Oh, it didn't matter. He didn't care. We'll wait. We're on your clock here, bud. I thought it was only supposed to use Breath Wing if, like, I attacked it while its wings were up. So yeah, if we don't go to 7 after the next swap, I think we're just gonna have to be in the time segment when we come back. I think I should, like, I agree with you. I should heal this poison that Tristan's got. That's a problem. You don't want to be running around with a poison to Tristan. Very no bueno. And eventually we'll get like black magic and we can just clear monsters even faster. We'll see how many of the monster weaknesses I actually remember. It's not like a Pokemon situation necessarily, but you do tend to clear battles in this game quicker if you remember each enemy's weakness. And the game is very nice and tells you what the weaknesses are, which I guess puts it closer to like a Pokemon thing than a typical Final Fantasy thing where you just kind of have to guess. Take me to 7! This is not 7. And I'm going to go to bed now. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Peace out. Sleep well.